Hello friends, my name is Colby and I am Overland, Colorado. This is my first YouTube video, so I'd appreciate anybody that watches the video. If I'm doing anything right, post a comment and let me know what you like. If I'm doing anything wrong, let me know what I'm doing wrong, so that I can not continue to do that. So in these, this will be part one of probably a two-part series on replacing the third member on a third-gen 4Runner. It's pretty comparable across multiple generations of Toyotas. But all of this is in preparation for Overland Expo West, and for my wife and I being able to do some travels. It's something that we're both really looking forward to. We've been wanting to do this for many, many years. Not only see what's within the United States and, get off of the beaten path and go places where people don't normally go, but also to get outside of the United States and to visit Central America, Mexico, to get down into South America, up into Canada, and maybe even branch beyond that and, travel to other continents around the world. Let me know what y'all like. If you like it and you want to see more, subscribe. If you don't like it, let me know why. Let me know what I can do to make it better. Thank you. All right, so here we have the new rebuilt third member that came to me this week from East Coast Gear Supply. I'm hoping this is a pretty smooth and easy install. I'm pretty impressed with the way that this all put together. They put the solid spacer. There's a spacer that goes back up in here in the pinion shaft. They put the solid spacer in there for me so it doesn't have the crush sleeve. And best I could tell from the wax on the gears here, it looks like they've got everything adjusted pretty well in there. Alright, so here we are underneath the 4Runner. And what we're going to do is we're going to give our bolts some love here. And we're going to hit them with some PB Blaster. And get some of these bolts to loosen up so it's a little bit easier tomorrow whenever I go to put everything on. Now we've got all of our nuts hit with our PB Blaster. We let it sit for the night. And tomorrow, we start the fun stuff. Okay, so here we are, day 2 after putting the PB Blaster on all the nuts and bolts and trying to loosen everything up. I've gotten the fluid drained out of the rear diff. I'm getting ready to put the drain plug back in. I'll go ahead and torque it down. And then I'll get the vehicle raised up and get these wheels off. We'll see in a minute. Now, it should go without saying to remember to put the plug that has the magnet in it in the bottom. To see the difference, this is the fill plug. You can see how it's open in the center. Here's the drain plug. Get it to focus here. You can see how it's got the magnet in there. That's the drain plug. So that's the one we want to put back in the bottom. And then we're going to go ahead and torque it down. And the torque specs on this are 39 foot-pounds. That's what we'll crank the sucker down to. Alright, we are cranked down to 39 foot-pounds. Alright, we'll get this sucker up in the air. Now I'll get the tires off.
The one thing you may or may not notice about the garage here is that there's not a whole lot of room to work around in, but we do the best we can. Okay, so here we are on the passenger side of the vehicle. This is right here where the rear drum is. So we have the hard brake line we have to remove. We've got 4 of these bolts, and the hard brake line is going to be a 10 millimeter. There's 4 of these bolts that hold the axle shaft all together. Those are going to be a 14 millimeter. And then over here, we should just have this here cotter pin right down in here, which should just remove this little shaft. We should be able to get the emergency brake cable or the e-brake cable disconnected from there. Alright, so we'll start with a little e-brake cotter pin here. And that little guy should pop up. Grab it on this side, give it a little bit of a twist, and that should slide out. Now there is a little sleeve in there that's going to slide right over top of that. I'll leave it in place along with the pin just so nothing gets lost. Next I will disconnect the brake line, and I'm using a flare nut wrench. It's really the only way to work with these brake lines and other lines similar to this. Alright, that's disconnected. To get some rags. Alright. Alright, let's work on these guys here. Again, this is the 14-inch or 14 millimeter socket. Give it a little bit of persuasion. I'm just going to loosen them up, then I'll come back to it. That one I'm going to need an extension for. Alright. And lastly, okay. Now, in all honesty, I should be able to just pull on this, and it should come free from the rear diff here. And obviously I'm being very, very careful not to scrape anything or scratch anything, and I'll just kind of let that guy go by himself. We are going to put some plastic over top of our brake line here. do a couple things for us. One, it's going to keep dust and debris from getting into that brake line. Two, I noticed that there's like a rubber O-ring or something that's actually that seals up this axle shaft. And I don't necessarily want to get any brake fluid down onto that O-ring and cause any problems there. Yeah, it's just a little rubber O-ring. So we don't want to damage that O-ring as much as possible. Okay, then we're on to the next. Alright, got all those guys undone. We'll just grab it again and give it a little bit of a tug. Pull it out a bit. Grab my little piece of plastic. That might be better. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, just enough that we keep that debris off of our O-ring here. I'll wipe that down again as we go, but here we are. Axle shafts are removed on the drivers and the passengers. Now we can actually look at what the culprit of the problem is, which is our third member. So we start tearing that apart.